Weather and life both change quickly. Do you have a farm estate plan? You need to learn the best option to help your family avoid or minimize federal estate taxes and other costs.
I'm Brad Swenson, President of Swenson Investments and Commodities. We work confidentially with farmers, ranchers, and advisors to help develop the best farm estate plan.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to take a look at the financial side of farming just a little bit and talk about interest rates and just a number of other factors that are going to affect how farmers operate and what their overall profitability is.
Well, no matter what business you're in or if you're not in any business at all, the economy around the world does impact what you're doing, whether it's the price of things that you're buying at the store or just the amount of money that it takes to live.
Okay, so for example, with the weak US dollar, a lot of people around the country are saying what a bad thing that is, and in some cases it is. Basically what it means is it takes more of your dollars, your American dollars, to buy something from another country.
Well, hold
okay,
on.
but the flip side...
The opposite side is it takes less of their dollars to buy something from us.
That's right. So guess what? As farmers, we got lots of stuff to sell. There's a deal every day here. So we want to sell corn, soybeans, wheat, all these crops to all these foreign countries around the world, and we're selling them left and right. It's a great thing. So because we're selling so many of these products, exports are up, which means overall demand is up. And if you've ever had Econ 101, you know that when demand is up and supply remains the same, we're going to have better overall prices. So for us on the farm, that means better commodity prices.
Well, it looks good up front when you say, wow, if I have this many bushels of crop and I have this price that's now inflated, that means more gross dollars coming into my farm.
Yep.
The problem is the net dollars are also going to change because all of your inputs are going to take more of your weak US dollars to buy. Let's talk about a new tractor. Let's talk about land prices. Let's talk about everything that it takes to put a crop in the ground. Like fertilizer, for example, has really gone up in price.
Yeah, but it's a lot. It has a lot less to do with the weak U.S. dollar and just the fact that farmers are earning more money. And so when people see that farmers have money, they want to take it. So everybody is increasing prices overall just because they can, and farmers are bidding against each other when it comes to land rent and overall land value. So those things are going up to some degree as well. This does cause problems. So overall profitability is up on farms, but it's not up to the degree that you might have thought it would be because of high commodity prices since we have the higher input costs.
Well, when we're talking about dollars, let's talk about borrowing dollars and interest rate costs. Yep. Fortunately, interest rates have been relatively low, in fact, historically low for a few years now.
Okay, so just as the example that Darren was going back to here, saying, well, our costs are all going to go up, literally cost of production is about double what it was just 5 or 6 years ago. So if you had a $2 million operation, it cost you $2 million to get all the crop in and pay for all your, equipment and everything else. Now it's probably costing you $4 million. Well, $4 million, let's say we had 10% interest and you had to borrow that money for a year. How much money is that?
$400,000
That's right,
of interest.
$400,000. If interest rates are down around 5%, which a lot of farmers are paying right now, it's only $200,000 worth of interest. So $200,000 versus $400,000, that's a lot more overall profitability. In fact, that's more than a lot of farmers are making $200,000. So it's a huge, huge deal. Just think of all the farms across the country. That lower interest expense is a big deal because farms, a lot of people don't really think about this, but the farm is often the biggest business in a lot of small towns.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because you talk about $2 million or $4 million. That is a lot of money. That's
yeah.
way more than people are making.
Yep.
So farmers have to handle so many dollars, and they're so vital to that local economy that things like the strength of the U.S. dollar, the value of the interest rates right now, those types of things are big things to farmers because they truly are businessmen in today's economy.
Yep, and overall, like we say, profitability probably is up on most farms around the country, but the downside risk here is now all these things are overinflated. What happens if and when commodity prices go down? Because commodity prices will go down again at some point. And usually what's happened in the past is there's a big lag between when all the costs end up going down to get back in line again. So that's what we're concerned about. We just don't know if that's going to come next year, if it's going to come 10 years from now. We don't know when it's going to happen.
Well, the economy is very important to you, and it's very important to all farmers across the country because they have to handle so much money putting the crop in every year. Just the interest rate changing 0.5% can make a big deal towards the profitability of the farm and also the value of the US dollar as it grows in strength. That's going to impact the revenue that farms are bringing in as well.
Well, another thing that affects farm profitability every year is how each farm does with weed control. Can you identify this week's Weed of the Week?